Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to another talkie video. I haven't been making a ton of videos lately because I've been busy and because I really didn't have anything to say. And I'll be honest, I just wasn't in the mood to make a replay video. I want to kind of, I don't know, be ready to be excited, I guess. And I've just been very tired when the house is quiet these days, so I've taken the opportunity to rest. But I have been talking to people on the Discord, and that's where this subject for conversation came up. And without going into any details, I just kind of, I don't know, I think it's really good for me to be able to talk to you guys and to be a youth pastor for you all. I was a youth pastor for a while, and now that I have 3 kids, I don't have enough time to devote to my own kids and the ones that I adopt without telling anybody about it. So I didn't want to half-ass either one of those things. So now I'm just a dad, but I like to play the role of youth pastor on the Discord. Not that you guys are looking for that most of the time, but nobody asked you. I volunteered, and I just like to be a friend to everybody, which if you've played D&D with me, it probably makes a lot of sense. But the topic that came up in my mind is, what is success? Because so many people focus on that, especially if you're a kid or a young man growing up. Your parents are gonna focus on that quite a bit, and as a dad, I can tell you that I really want my kids to be successful, and I really expect them to be. I think that they have so many things going for them, and they're just really cool people. I think that things are really going to work out for them. But the question still arises, what is success? And of course, the only good answer is success is relative. Everybody's going to have a different feel for what that means, and specific that was a nice shot. Always nice to see a B1 getting one through the very flat driver's hatch. But of course, this is the worst Matilda in the game. The one that has an always-on ammo rack duct taped to the back of the thing. But it's still a Matilda, and it's still a delightful tank. That's just a fun little vehicle. Anyway, a bit of a ramble video you might have noticed for this one, but I wanted to ramble a bit. And I've been having a good time, and it's also, well, whatever. Let's get back into the topic at hand. Success is relative. Everybody's going to have a different definition or a different feel for what it is, but I think that it's important to guide you, to decide what your goals are and how your progress is going with regard to that. But also, I think it's also really important, especially when you're growing up, when you're a young man or a young woman, to realize that you can't see the future, you never will be able to, and your goals and your idea of what it means to be successful in specific terms, they're going to fluctuate. And if they don't, then maybe there's something wrong. I don't know. Some people are just very, very focused when it comes to their goals, and that can be a really good thing. But I think that it's an aspect of honesty to admit that we can't see the future, and things change. So it's always going to be an opinion on what it means to be successful. So what really matters about all of that? You definitely shouldn't feel like you're successful if you're not doing something that makes you happy or makes other people happy, that brings joy into your life, that brings joy into the world. But what about when you feel like you're always starting something new and just nothing pans out, nothing moves forward, nothing's finished, nothing is a success? And I think that it's important to realize that success is not something that's off and then suddenly on. There will be few moments, if any, in your life where you really feel like you've made it. And if you do, you might be kidding yourself. There's a false sense of security sometimes that can be just as dangerous as a sense of inferiority can be. In other words, if you feel like you are now a success and the battle is won, well, maybe you're right, but maybe you're wrong. So I think it's best to think of success in a broader sort of way. You want to be successful without being a success. In other words, until the day you die, I think it's good to treat your life like an ongoing challenge. Don't feel like you've arrived ever. Don't feel like you've finished the race. And unless you have, unless you're looking forward to your death. And there are few people that can say that they're able to do that. This is really something of a rambling video, and I'm not really bringing my thoughts to bear very well, so I hope you'll bear with me. But the main idea here is there's a lot of things that people care about. Things like money, or family, friends, fame, experiences, pleasure, objects, whatever it is. And they try to use those things to define if you're winning in the game of life. But, by the way, that was the ammo rack talking. But, as we move on to the delightfully colored P61, I think the video is lagging out a little bit. Sorry about that. Shadowplay stuff, no doubt. Probably needed to update my graphics drivers. But there's always going to be people that are willing to define for you what success is. Parents are pretty guilty of this, as you can probably tell, but everybody has their own opinion about what it means to make it to the top, or to do well in life. But from my experience, and I gotta say, I lead a pretty joyful life. I'm a happy guy. I'm very satisfied with where I am in life, and I think that's one of the important aspects of viewing success. If you're in a place where you're happy with where you are, you're happy with where you're going, it's easy to say that you're winning, you're living successfully. And it doesn't have to be about what anybody else says it's about. There is so much joy in loving what you have and loving the people that are around you, and just enjoying what you can. And there's so much reason to be hopeful. There's so much opportunity to make a difference and to grow and to develop, that if you don't feel like you are successful now, you know what? You're alive. You have the most wonderful opportunity in the world, and that is another day of life. There's nothing in this world like being alive, and it's the biggest difference between the living and the dead, is that you are able to make change happen. You're able to do work, and it doesn't matter if you're getting a little bit accomplished in a day or a lot. It is infinitely more than people who don't have life. And of course that comes to mind because a family member of mine has passed away. My uncle, and it's got me thinking about things like that. But it's an incredible opportunity. It's a great blessing to be alive. I'm sure the pilot survived this one, by the way. Let's just jump back into the hangar, shall we? That was a successful run, by the way. But even a little bit of progress, even being able to have another day of experiencing good or experiencing bad, and learning from either situation, being able to grow, being able to develop and to just build the legacy of your life is the most wonderful opportunity that you could ask for. It's incredible. And all of that is to say that you have so much going for you, even if you feel like you don't have much going for you. Life is an incredible gift, and there's a lot more opportunity than you think there is. I mean, I was just reminded of some accounts of prisoners in a prison camp in World War II. This particular one where some Australians... The game is being really weird. I think that's actually like... Look at these jumps in the video. I might have to use something else, so I guess me talking about the P-61 might not make any sense. It's a great aircraft, but yeah, War Thunder's freaking out. It's doing this weird like blurring thing, like when you open up a menu, but it's during the replay. Weird stuff. So, because it's using the fade mechanics that have been introduced into War Thunder, I think it's a War Thunder thing. So, apologies for your bleeding eyes, and I'll continue to ramble incoherently. Where was I? Life's an incredible opportunity. I was reading some, I don't know, it's just a brief account of some Australian POWs in World War II stealing things from the Japanese and making fun of their English at the same time. And if you're familiar with the way that the Japanese treated their military prisoners during World War II, it was the worst. People talk about like Nazi prisoner camps. The Japanese camps were worse. They were the worst. And it was a horrible, dehumanizing, just terrible situation that ended many lives cruelly, and was about the worst situation that you can find yourself in the world at the time. And it's a timeless phenomenon, I guess. It's a horrible thing that should never happen, the way people were treated in those camps on a daily basis. It was horrifying, inhumane, absolutely unjustifiable, and it scarred people for life. It caused deep wounds to them, and it was a traumatic, terrible situation. And at the same time, you have people finding joy in mischief, fighting their own battles, winning their own wars, not to change the course of history, but to have something, some fight, some struggle that gives them focus, that gives them a reason for carrying on through the torment and the humiliation and the death that was around them, even if it just means stealing some sugar every now and then. And there's something beautiful about that. There's something timeless and worthwhile about their fight and their struggle in the worst of situations. The same can be said for accounts from the death camps and any of these places, Jews hiding in Poland or what have you. These accounts of people in bad situations and finding a way of living a beautiful life despite that, despite all the ugliness and the pain and the death and the loss. And you say things like sacrifice during those times, but sometimes it's not even a sacrifice because nothing was gained. It's just a struggle. And yet something shines through in those situations. And it is the blessing of being alive. The greatest gift. The ability to create a legacy. To do something. And in the act of doing, to appreciate what it really means to have a chance at all this. And that is success. Not on or off, not winning or losing, but winning, and by how much. Because to live is gain. Everything you do is increasing when you're alive. You're building a legacy. Your life matters. And after you are gone, well, you're not really gone. I am convinced that there is a part of you that really defines who you are. Your soul. And your soul exists apart from your body, and despite the death of your body, will carry on. And there will be a time where you will be able to look back on your life as someone who has finished it, and it will be good for you to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. And let me tell you something, God is incredibly good, and He loves you very much. And if He loved you enough to die for you, to save you, and to earn forgiveness for you, then you know what? He loves you enough to take every defeat in your life and every struggle in your life, to take the times where you were a prisoner and where you were dehumanized or defeated or destroyed, and turn those into something beautiful. And He gives the credit right back to you. But don't take my word for it. The Bible's full of examples of just that happening. And you know what? From a completely unbiased perspective, it is the most well-supported piece of literature in the world. But don't take my word for it. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. I'm looking forward to all 12 people who are going to watch this video. I treasure you guys. And it's late. It's like 2 a.m. and I just got off of a long session of D&D, hanging out with my friends. And you know what? I'm a happy guy. It sounds like I got a hungry boy too. #blessed. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.